I say that to just tell you, like, buckle your seatbelts, because it'll be nothing short of a treat. Mr. Alex Dumas, he is an entrepreneur. He runs his own coaching practice, empowering leaders, and yeah, he kind of, you might think it's like an entrance to a WWE wrestling match or something. His energy is phenomenal. But he's here to kick it off for us. He was very generous with his time and his resources. He actually is a sponsor as well. And you can check out his information. His QR code is up here. Check him out. He's got this campaign going on, Rent My Brain, right now, and you can kind of get some tips and nuggets. So he's going to be dropping some for free here today. So buckle your seatbelts, but enjoy. Take your shoes off. Be comfortable. We want this to. We don't want it to be too, formal and rigid. We do want it to be a time of conversation and everybody kind of taking in some different things and sharing. But we're at the beach and we're working, so we want you to be able to relax some and try to make a little bit of a retreat out of it. So really be comfortable. There's no rules. Play with the stuff on the table. Come and go as you need to. Yeah, we really want it to be loose and a fun environment. So feel free to just make yourself comfortable. And so next, you'll hear from Mr. Alex Dumas.
All right. Can you hear me? Test 1 2 1 2. Everybody good? Great morning. First of all, he already did the shout out, but can we give a quick shout out to the staff, to the team, to the hotel, everybody who's put this event together. But you can clap. It's good. There's Tyra over there. She's going to be my wing woman of sorts. So, as Daryl said, my name is Alex Dumas. I come from this place called New York. And what I'm going to, I know, it's a foreign planet out there. And what I'm going to share with you could be really summed up in about a sentence, but I have some time here, so I'm going to elaborate. But my life is like this. Does anybody know what this is? A yo-yo. Now, I'm not an expert yo-yoist. I don't know if they call themselves that, but it's supposed to come back up. But for a lot of my life, it was down. And for you to understand what I'm going to talk to you about today with win-win communication, it makes sense that we talk about these ebbs and flows, right? This yo-yo, this down, this up, this down, this up. Before I show you the next slide, I got to preface you with this, that in middle school, right, 5th grade, 8th grade, I went to summer school twice for math. High school, I went to summer school 3 times. You're supposed to do it in 4 years, sometimes 5 years for some kids, but 3 years I was in summer school for math and science and all these different things. My brain just didn't equate with that. And the last thing you need to know is that I'm the youngest of 4 kids. All right? Oh. It helps if I turn it on. So this picture up here, this is my beautiful family a long, long time ago. My father, my mother, rest her soul, my older sister, my 2 older brothers. Now, I said that I'm the youngest of 4. How many kids do you see up there? 3. Interesting, right? Now, here's a quick distinction about truth and facts. The truth is, I was not born yet. So how could I be in this picture? I don't exist, literally. I'm not there. So that's the truth of it. The fact that I made up was, I'm not important. I don't exist. I don't belong in this family. I'm not important. That's we're right here at the bottom of the yo-yo, right? And this is a story that I ran with. It affected every relationship, every opportunity I had, because I'm operating from a place of, I don't exist. I'm not important. Who am I? Why should anybody listen to me? My voice is important. You might be thinking to yourself, Alex, why wouldn't you just ask your family to take another family portrait? My point is, why didn't they see it? Don't they know that I'm not there? But it's not for me to make an assumption. It's not for me to make them wrong. What happened, happened. What is. I made it a story, and now I live with it. But something really interesting happened to me years later on. As this kid who felt isolated, awkward, disconnected, not included, I got involved in sports. So around 11, 12 years old, I joined the football team. And something happened. Something switched. When I got in the field, I wasn't shy, timid, intimidated, like little Alex. I became this gladiator. People thought Lawrence Taylor was on the field. For anybody who doesn't know Lawrence Taylor, bunch of crazy dogs, right? That guy. But that was me. On that field, I found my voice. On that field, I found myself, ready to connect with my team, ready to listen to my coach. He was able to speak to me in a way that I didn't hear anybody speak life into me before. And we won the championship that year. Life is good, moving along. Yo-yo time, I'm back up, right? Down, up. Get into high school, and this is where the yo-yo almost snaps. I find myself trying to fit in, trying to find my way into this world. I'm in a school with predominantly white people, so there's not a white people. There's not a thing like that, but being one of the few black faces in a room is awkward, it's weird, it's uncomfortable. And my mind kept messing with me, like, man, what am I doing here? Am I supposed to be here? Why am I in this room? They're making fun of me, like all these thoughts. And what I thought was an easy way to get acceptance was, maybe I'll start smoking some cigarettes. You know what? Yeah, let me get a little hit of weed. Yeah, I'll do a line, just no problem. Yeah, let's take some drinks before school. And that cycle, that spiral, was my life for 8, 9 years. So you see this little guy right here, right? Handsome. He's dapper. This is probably around the age where I saw that picture. I was 5, maybe 6, so this is me in first grade. My parents were all about wearing suits and things like that, so I get to carry this forever. But this guy, he had no business stealing from people. This guy had no business lying to people, robbing people, going into houses, taking things that are not his. For what? To fuel a habit, to fuel an addiction. Taking cigarettes off the ground because I don't have any Newports left. Like, this is my life for years. Everything I had, where's my dealer? He's the first number in my phone, and if I can't find him, then I'm in trouble. But this is him. Through his eyes of not important, not included, he saw himself in this space thinking, if I could just hide this, if I could just mask this, and hopefully nobody knows. But everybody knew. They could tell. They could smell my fingers, they could smell my clothes. So addiction. I looked this up. It says the fact or condition, right? I had to bold these words, right? The condition. I conditioned my mind to be an addict for victimhood. I had conditioned myself to be a victim of circumstance, of reactive, of the world's against me, everybody is this way, but me, just little old Alex. Everybody else gets to have fun, everybody else gets to enjoy life, everybody else gets to celebrate, not me. And I was like that for a while. Then in college, I'm going along, still getting high, addicted to porn, just a mess. And then I meet this lovely young lady one day on MySpace. Yes, I'm dating myself right now. Yes. Yeah, that's right. MySpace, AOL. I was on her buddy list, right? We got connected, and this woman changed my life. She started to say things to me like, you can do better than this. I believe in you. This isn't you. And lucky for me, I did one of these. I put one finger in my ear so that it didn't go in one, out the other. I started to take heed, like, yeah, maybe I can. What if? It sounds like a really simple, basic question, but that carried me through. It still carries me through to this day. What if? And I started to rise up again. kind of corporate, getting leadership positions. Life is going good, but then I found myself at this huge telecom company. I'm not going to say the name, because I don't want to watch them, I don't want to get sued. I'll just say that their name rhymes with Verizon. I was there in this customer service role and helping out big companies with all sorts of problems they were having, and I was supposed to be the service manager. But I couldn't speak their language. I didn't know about circuits and wires and this and that. So I would do things like hide. I'd go back to hiding by default. And what I mean by hiding, I mean literally hiding, like going to the bathroom, couldn't find me for a while. Oh, the break room's here, hey, what's going on? We're by the water cooler, we're gonna be talking for a while. Go to the snack floor, anything to avoid being at my desk. Work's over at 4:30. It's 4:25. I worked hard today. I sent a couple of emails. I deserve a little early release, right? It's 4:10. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? That was my mind. That was my life. And in the pit of my stomach, I'm just feeling like, what am I doing here? I don't belong here. Once again, yo-yo, back down. And I found myself in a role after that, where I was an events manager, a program manager for this coaching company. And that was a very interesting experience because the guy who didn't want to be seen, the guy who was hiding in the bathroom, the guy who was doing everything to avoid responsibility, now is the face of this company. I'm a point person. We're going to big events, right? 300 people, 400 people, 500 people. And I'm the first person they go to, smile on my face, and I gotta have answers. I gotta answer their questions. And you would think, what am I doing here? But I thrive there. There's nowhere to run, there's nowhere to hide, but I loved it. I loved interacting, I loved the engagement, I loved serving people at a high level. Back up. Now I share all these things with you because I got really curious. I got really curious about why am I here in these spaces, right? Why am I feeling isolated here? Why am I feeling alone and awkward and not included and inadequate here? And then in some spaces I'm clear, confident, I'm connected. I did some investigating. I should have been a detective because I'm putting together all these clues. It looked like Usual Suspects, if anybody knows that reference, right? I got the whole wall of these different pieces, arrows and all that, and I started to see that there's this gap. And this gap is what I call win-win communication. Anytime I was with leadership who I felt could see me, could hear me, I could hear them, clear, connected. Other times, not so much. And now this is what I do with my life. I go to companies, I go to teams, organizations, leadership, and I help them with their teams. I help them with their own thought process. I help them with their own ability to not hide. And you are all in the business of helping people reveal themselves to themselves, their true selves. Not the mask, not the cloud, not the needle, not the bottle, but come back to light, come back to life itself. And that's what I hope to share with you today. So when you think about this word here, I bolded this one because this was kind of like a way to use the example, right? Of he committed the theft to finance his drug addiction, like committed. Commitment is an interesting word. When I was using, my commitment was to get high. If I had a mission statement, get high today. That was it. I didn't care about relationships, I didn't care about friends, I didn't care about family. It was, when's the next one? Okay, when's the next one? And in the middle of it, like, all right, I'm ready for the next one. So commitment is interesting, and I'm grateful for you all being here, that you're committed to being here, to learning more, to expanding who you are, expanding your way of being. Because this win-win communication is really that. It's not about tips and tools. I'm not going to tell you about active listening. We're going to come from a place of who are we being when we're listening. So we're on board with that? Can we commit to that?
Yeah.
All right. So this is what you're up against, and you probably already know the numbers, but just to make it real, again, 2 years ago, right, over 11 North Carolinians die every day from a drug overdose. Over these course of 22 years, 36,000 people, right? Think of all these families. The work you're doing is valuable. You're here for a reason. You're not here to be a savior, but you're here to make a difference and save, hopefully, somebody's life. So I'm going to ask y'all, in terms of communication, what does it mean to win? Like, what do you want to experience with a win, with communicating with somebody? And this way, this is a dialogue. This is not a monologue.
Understand and be understood.
Understand it and be understood. What's up, sir?
Support empowerment.
Support and empowerment? Beautiful. Yeah. It's going to mean different things to different people, and that's fine. For me, it's a pretty simple thing. It's along the same lines of what you gentlemen just shared. I understand you, you understand me. We both win together. So if you have papers, pens, anything like that, when you put in your mind right now, who is somebody that you like to win with? Who is somebody you want to experience that kind of feeling with? It could be in the professional setting, it could be personal. So take a minute, yeah, like literally take 10 seconds, like write down a name. Think of who's that one person that maybe you're not having a difficult conversation with right now. That one person that if you started to connect with them again, your life would be enhanced, so would their lives. Does everybody have a name? Hands up if you have a name. We're not moving until we have a hand, everybody's hand up. Let me communicate that clearly. Hands up. All right? So you have this person in your mind. I want you to think about them not only just for this conversation, but for the weekend you're here. Like, who's that person? Who are they? Who's that person? Because in that family portrait I showed you that there's 4 of us kids, but only 3 were shown. I'm the one missing out. Who's the one that's missing out right now? Who's the one who needs you to step up? And I have an interesting game for somebody, one unsung hero. For me to do this effectively, I'm going to ask, who wants to play? Who wants to be my, I don't want to say test dummy, or my subject, my guest of honor? Only takes one. Not you, big guy. I know you would. He's volunteering. Mom's like, Mom, want to do it? Mom's like, I don't want to. So I need one. All right, you're the one. Can you give it up for her? Stephanie?
Stephanie.
Alex. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, just take
here.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, I'm like Vanna White, you're Pat now.
Got it.
So you have somebody in your mind. You have somebody in your mind, right?
I have a question.
Sure.
Is this like this is a professional individual to connect with?
It could be professional, personal, whoever. It's the one person in your mind that you're like, hey, I really want to have a beautiful conversation with them and really be connected with them.
Okay. Okay.
All right, so they're in your mind?
Yep.
All right, beautiful. So I want to let you know this. This is something that I share with my clients all the time. This is the foundation of the work, because that picture that I showed before, I made up a story that there's something wrong with me. And it took a long time to really see the truth of it. Like, no, there's nothing wrong with me. I saw something one way, it wasn't what it was. And it's not your fault. If you're not having if you're not having conversations, if you're not expressing yourself in full, it's not your fault. Life is conditioned you to be this way. And hopefully this will be your way to snap that yo-yo, to stay on the even keel. Life will happen, things will not go your way as you intend. But at the end of the day, you have the choice. You are in control, and that's the big part of this. So Stephanie, my first element or teaching point about win-win communication is this thing called connection. And I have these little elements within them, right? About being present, about being decisive, about being what I call relentlessly optimistic. And no matter what happens, we're going to find a way. As a little boy, with that story that you heard about me, do you think I was very present to people when I was talking with them? If I'm in my own head about, I'm not important, I'm insignificant, right? I'm not very decisive. Well, what if I do this? Well, what will they think? And maybe I can do it. And nowhere. Optimism. It sounds like a funny word. Like, man, everything's going to work out. You ever feel like that? You ever feel like that in your work right now? There's a lot of chaos in the mental health and substance use disorders that you help treat, right? There's a lot of chaos. There's a lot of chaos in my brain. What are they thinking about me? What if I make the wrong mistake? What if I make the right mistake and people, there's no opportunity for me to connect with somebody. So this is the first kind of circle pillar. I'm going to go through them, then we're going to tap into your world a little bit. So the second element of win-win communication is collaboration. And I love that this conference stands for that, right? Sustainability Workforce, collaboration, innovation. How I relate to that is being loyal. Am I loyal to this mission? Am I loyal to this vision that we've crafted? Intensely loving, that sounds like creepy. Intensely, like, yeah, intense. Because I'm going to be a stand for somebody. My wife was a stand for me at one point, where I thought life's really not worth living. Who am I? Why should I? Yeah, I can make fun of myself a little bit, like, is that was my life is this like, what is, like, anyway. She poured belief into me. She said, I'm going to stand for you no matter what. Even when you don't want to, I'll pick you up and take you along. And then, with collaboration, was the last piece called generous listening. And you have that opportunity in every interaction you have. Where's the gold? You can look at it from two places, right? The duality. I know that, I heard that, I got it, yada yada, come on, moving along, buddy. Or, hey, how can I use this? How can this benefit me? How can this benefit somebody else? Does that make sense? All right. And my last one. Now, I'm not supposed to have favorites, so don't tell the other two slides, but this is kind of my favorite one. Creation. This is where I shine. Because you saw at a young age, I created a really powerful story. Kid non-existent, doesn't belong. You know what, let me use these drugs to mask this and hide who I really am. I can create that. Oh no, I'm in this corporate role now. I need to go hide. So like, if anybody's looking for me, don't use that. Be right here. But I get to approach things now with the curiosity, with enthusiasm, being a bold requester, which is a big one. A bold request for me as a little boy would have been like, hey, Mom, Dad, can we take another family portrait? That would have been simple. 30 years of inner hell released. But instead, I'm not important. I shrink, stay silent, and stew, saute in my own madness, my own chaos. So with those three elements, which one resonates with you? Which one kind of stands out to you? And if you need to look at the slides, we can.
Okay.
So this is the first one, connection, right? These are the three things here. Collaboration, and then creation. Boom, boom, boom. person that you have?
Creation.
Creation, okay. Tell me why.
Oh gosh, well, I love a microphone moment. I feel like this individual and I could, really get a bunch of positive stuff going in the community. We have some similar aligned goals, and I've just found in my line when that happens, it's can be a bit magical.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm gonna pull this up real quick because it feels weird. I'm like towering over you. So my work, I work with people, I coach people. So I'm gonna ask you, since you volunteered up here, do I have permission to work with you a little bit, to play with you?
Yeah,
All right.
please.
Can we give it up to Stephanie one more time? It's not easy, right? I mean, in front of the crowd, in front of people, this is kind of a funky thing. You have no idea what I'm gonna ask you or say. And we just literally met, 5 seconds ago, so here we are. So, these projects, right? What are you seeing as an opportunity and what are they seeing?
Okay, what am I seeing as an opportunity and what are they seeing? As it directly pertains to my role, one would be referrals to my program and referrals to her program where we both work, getting people the help they need. That's the main opportunity. Also, another opportunity would be to just share additional resources we both kind of have on hand in our close community that we work on together to also help get folks where they need to be. I've heard there's an additional need for some women's support meetings at her facility, and I have some connections I'd like to introduce her to. So I'll bring some young women out as well. And just creating more connection, honestly, I think just within the community is what I'm trying to do. And I think she would appreciate that as well for her community. Hope that made sense.
No, that makes sense. So now here's the magic question. What's getting in the way of that happening? You want this, she wants this, but yet, from what I'm hearing from you, that's not happening or is not happening at the scale that you would like. Is that fair? And if I'm off base, then,
No,
correct me.
I think it's happening. I think it's just, I don't find it easy to ever stop trying to get myself plugged in and plug other people in. So she's new to her role.
Okay.
So I'm also just trying to help her out. She's coming from one provider to this other company that I've worked closely with in the past. So maybe just help ease that transition for her too. And maybe, you just don't know about other resources until you talk to other people about them. So, I don't know if I'm getting it.
Has anybody ever had that challenge with like a different organization, a different partner, where you have an idea, you want to share, or maybe you think they have some opportunities for you to share, but the lines aren't being opened up? Has that happened? Because I want to get into your world.
Time,
Time?
making it happen, like taking that initiative, possibly.
So with that initiative, what does that look like? Like a face-to-face meeting, virtual,
Yeah,
emails?
face-to-face meeting. I, probably would go over to her program, and
Okay.
introduce myself to her and her team.
Can everybody hear?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay, I like microphone.
Yeah, I was just take the time to go over to the program and introduce myself to her team.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. What do you see being different if that happens, right?
I think if I were to go, I prefer in-person meetings because I think they show initiative and you can have a more personal conversation and connection. I think it's really easy in this day and age for us to kind of get caught up in this Zoom Skype meeting because you can fit more in a shorter amount of time, but I think in this particular case, I'd like to put in the footwork and show up and meet her people in person and have her come over and do the same with mine.
So Stephanie, why? It seems like you're clear. Why has this not happened? This is not a judgment. It's to bring into life that when we have an idea, when we have an inspired thought, the next thing is immediate action. Because great idea, it'll float out there for a while, maybe one day. I call it someday island. Someday, when this happens, then I will be whatever, blank, blank, blank. I love to live in this place called Now Island. Now Island is where all the fun is. Now Island is, we're here, we're sitting, right? Like literally physically present. You've got this idea in your mind, you're scrolling around with, like, how could I work with this person? How could I collaborate with this person in a different way? And you've had this, how long has this kind of been like brewing around, or?
So about 2 weeks. The current excuse for having it in the future island would be because she said she'd like to have some time to settle into her role. So that's today's excuse.
Hopefully that'll be the last one. Hopefully that'll be the last one.
So the both of you joined in forces, so to speak, right? Different programs, I don't say merging, but at least bouncing off of each other. How does it serve the community?
I think in a lot of ways. We work with the same people. I'm primary mental health and substance use. She's primary substance use. So historically, we've exchanged a lot of referrals back and forth. And now that she's the transition coordinator, I'm extra excited to continue those connections and hopefully get some additional women's meetings started up for the community as well.
It's fantastic. What do you think I'm going to ask next?
Why is it happening now?
Why is it happening?
That's part of one, yeah.
Okay. We could go ahead and get it on the schedule now. I could do that.
That's a great plan of action. That was going to be my
Give
next.
her a couple weeks to get settled into a role and get it on the schedule.
Yeah. What gets scheduled gets done.
We should do that, yeah.
You see how easy it is to create?
Yeah.
See how much fun it is? Like you're smiling over that, you're going like, oh yeah, we could just do that. We could just do that. Like that thing. Very simple, very clear, very concrete. Do you think she'd be grateful for that? Do you think she would be like, wow, Stephanie's giving me some time, and she's also taking a stand for me. She's actually not letting me off the hook with my thoughts, my ideas, my resistance, avoidance of, well, you know what, I need a little bit more time. Like, there's no time.
I like that, yeah.
Right? There's these women to serve, these communities to help. Someone out there is looking for you. They don't know it yet, but they're looking for you, not to save, because I'm not going there, but to guide, to serve. And you have that opportunity. And now, in the words of the great Uncle Ben from Spider-Man, great power comes with great responsibility. I'm a comic book guy. I can't. Grew up in the 90s, it's part of my life. So I'm going to ask you, what is your commitment out of this, out of these doors? What's your commitment to her and to these women?
Well, I mean, after this conversation, I feel like I'll probably be sending that email immediately following. So, highly committed, and I appreciate the motivation, too.
You're welcome, and I'll say this. Motivation is lovely, but at the end of the day, it's like a shower, right? I just need it all the time. I want you and everybody else here to walk away with inspiration, right? To move in spirit, to move with the guidance. Not to get too biblical for y'all, but you can move this along somewhere else if you don't want to, but I am a person, man of faith, child of God, and as the master creator, I believe that that's my birthright. If we're made in His image, then I have creativity in my blood. If you cut me open right now, it's going to look like blood, but it's abundance, it's creativity, it's decisiveness, it's curiosity. These are the things that are inside of me, and that's what I get to share in the world. And so that's the magical question for you. It's like, what am I going to be committed to in this conversation with her? Right? This email of, we have this mission, right? We lay it up, we volley it up for her, and this is how I want to work with you. And she'll do what she's going to do. But at least you are the catalyst for that. You're moving along. Make sense?
It does, it does.
Was this helpful?
Very helpful. I'm excited and inspired.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So it doesn't take long to make a decision. Going back to my story, right? Bottom of the yo-yo, I made a split-second decision. Picture, portrait, I'm not important, I don't exist, am I here? Done, complete, filed away. Steffi just had an experience of, I want to do this thing. I kind of have an idea, and then workshop it. Okay, I know exactly what to do. Think about the people that you serve, the population of folks that are kind of drifting along. They're like, I want to do this, but I had a conversation with some gentlemen earlier this morning, and we were talking about this, about what I call the grip. I want to be here, I want to improve my life, I know I shouldn't be doing this, I know I shouldn't be hurting my family, I know I shouldn't be stealing, I know I shouldn't be doing that, but that grip, damn, when it gets you, it locks on. I have a grip for creation now. I have a grip for transforming lives. Wherever I go, that's what I do. That's who I be. That's it. I told you, cut me open. That creativity's pouring out. Looks like plasma, looks like veins and blood and cartilage and bone and all that. Nah, that's just me. The real me. So these are some questions to leave for y'all. What am I consciously creating today? Right? Because it's easy to go in default. We'll listen to people from how we think about them, not necessarily what they're saying. So what am I listening for? What am I creating? Am I listening for the gold? Can I find something that will benefit me and also benefit them? And this goes into home, this goes into your workplaces, goes into your community, your churches, wherever you are. Can I listen to this person in a different way than I haven't before? Because we all know, at least I hope you know, what it feels like when you are heard, when someone really understands where you're coming from. And wouldn't that be a gift to give to somebody else? Just a possibility. So fast forward now, this is a couple years ago, right? Me and my family, we take biannual family portraits. It's something that I was very intentional about. It's something I'm consciously creating over and over. So that's my wife Sarah, my son AJ, my daughter Juliana, right? So this year we're due for our next one. So hopefully if I come back here next year, I'll show you the new threads. But I'm going to show you something really funny because I didn't realize this at the time. We took our first biannual family photo in 2016. So keep in mind my family, my immediate family's family portrait, and now my creative family, if you want to call it that. So here we are, side by side. I didn't realize it at the time, right? This is how important the subconscious and programming is. Look at Pop, look at me. Scary. Almost same face, same suit. It's the same. Like, I didn't. Listen, this is one of the many upgrades that my wife did. So when we met, I had myself a bit of a baby fro. Wasn't quite kept. in her judgment, in her wise vision, she said, maybe just little trim, and the hair didn't quite grow back like I wanted, so this is how it's been now for 15 years now. But this is it, right? What I wanted to be in, what I should have been included in, how I was excluded, now I include myself, now I create that. So as I get to closing this out and wrapping this up, like I mentioned, I do this with teams, I do this with leadership, I do with executives. And you can supplement yourself in here, right? I'm not your guy, here's somebody who's interested in imposing your will, right? Be on the lookout for those folks. Are they the kind of person just it's all about them? If you have somebody who's wishy-washy, I like this today, I like this tomorrow. I'm gonna side with you because Daryl likes purple ties. I'm gonna wear purple ties from now on. I don't like ties. I'll never wear a tie again in my life. But because Daryl likes it, I gotta fit it. No, I'm not the type. I'm here, grounded, centered, connected. That's the game. If you're concerned with your own self-interest, me, take, there's no win in that. How do I win and you lose? What is that fair? When you think about the people that you're helping, you're serving in recovery, their minds right now is win, that's it. Win at all costs. I will kill to win. I will steal to win. I will rob to win. Like I mentioned, if you're inflexible, if you know that, if you got that I know that thing, I'm not the person you want to be around. Because this is who I am for. If you're interested in the perspective of others, really deeply, understanding where they're coming from, who they're being, you're decisive and clear, right? No wishy-washy, no. Are you concrete? Because a lot of people in the world are sheetrock. I'll walk through them. Concrete, we can make better. Are you open to new ideas? Are you floating around your head I don't know that, I haven't heard that before, or if I did hear that, I'm going to hear it in a different way because my listening is different. This is how I'm going to communicate to the world. And in my line of work, being immersed in self-improvement is a pretty big deal. It's kind of one of the #1 requirements. Be interested in growth, interested in opportunities, interested in possibilities. So, as we close this out, I want you to think about the questions that you're asking yourself, the questions that you're asking other people. Is it to really extract gold from it, or is it just kind of going along, doing the same old? I can tell you this, same old is boring. It's not exciting. Same old is just that. If I can hear you in a different way, I can tap into something different. I'm excited, I'm enthusiastic, I'm now loyal to your cause because I want to know about you. And hopefully you get to know about me. And with the people who are in recovery, right, people who are actively working through this, tap into their minds for a second, or you might be in their mind, you might come from that world too. What would it have been like if someone just saw me? What if somebody took a stand for me and just pour some belief into me and help me cut this string, help me get off this yo-yo? I'm tired of being down. Enough of down, I'm up. I want to be up, I want to be here, I want to live, I want to experience. So yes, here's still some powerful questions. What do I want to create? What am I listening for? Versus what I call disempowerment, weaker questions like, why is it this way? That was my life for a while. Why does he have that? Why can't I have that? Why didn't she like me? And who do I need to be to? Those don't serve. What serves me is, what do I want to create today? What can I learn? Who do I need to be? What do I get to do with this? What is the gift in here? What is the gold? And what am I committed to? Am I committed just to get in my way? It's all about me, it's the Alex show, and y'all do what you want. Or can we find a way to really be connected? Can we find a way to really collaborate and create something different? This is your opportunity too. So I have a gift for you, because I don't know if anybody's listened to my audio, Everybody Wins. Crickets. Nobody has it. Great. It's just me. I love it. No, you just met me. So up here is this QR code. You're going to type in this code, WIN. Leave me some feedback. Leave me some love. Leave me some hate if you want to. Important thing here, when you go, yeah, no, duck, right? It's the shiny, it's the ball. So please type in your first name and last name so I know who it is, because I've had issues in the past of like, who the heck is this person? Like, people don't leave their names. So yeah, you go through a quick little survey, get some feedback about what you felt about this, how you relate to this, and it's an audio gift of what I call Everybody Wins, 10 disciplines for win-win communication. So it goes a little bit deeper into those different principles. And I know you said like, hey, I only saw 9 things up there because I hit one. Can't give you everything. There's one that's sneaky in there, but you'll appreciate it. So I'll give y'all another minute. Hopefully my office on. I'm right on time. Yeah, good job. All right, everybody's got this. Everybody scan. You're good. You're covered. Beautiful. And so, final thought. Just like Stephanie has this individual in her mind, who would you like to win with today? It doesn't mean you dominate. I win. No, we win. Together. We win. Is that a commitment that y'all are committed to? Is this a commitment that you are committed to? Are you going to win with somebody today? Guys, I'm from New York. Like, talk to me. Yes? Yes?
Yeah!
All right, here we go. Look at this. Y'all here for 2 days. Y'all gotta. Let's go. Let's make it happen. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. So, if you want to connect with me, there's 3 simple ways that you can stay connected with me. I'm on LinkedIn all the time. You can email me. You can write hate mail if you want. I don't care. It's my website too. But I'd love to connect with you. I'd love to stay in your world, because your world is my world. If we're here to make the world a better place, we're here to serve people, then I'm with you. And we're going to win together. So I thank you. I appreciate you. God bless. Stay blessed.